Okay, so everything that we painted is nice and dry, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get our paste finishing wax in the light or clear. And what I'm going to do with that is, make sure you have your gloves on. I'm going to go and I'm going to get some of it, and I'm going to use one of the cloths that I always use. And I'm going to take that clear or light finishing wax, and I'm just going to go over my entire piece. My crown. That's what I'm going to start with right now. I'm just going to do the crown. But you guys are going to do it to all of your brass pieces that you've painted. Just want to cover it really, really well. You're going to go in sections because you guys are doing your crowns and they're a lot bigger than this sample one that I'm just demonstrating on. So I just want to cover the entire thing. Both front and back. It's getting, and the wax is going to get on the circles that I didn't paint. That's okay because we're going to go clean that later with alcohol. Doing the inside. Now remember, when you guys do it, you're going to go in probably like 3-inch sections. Okay, so we'll pretend I did everything, which is what you guys are going to do. It's time consuming, but it looks good in the end. So after I've done that with the clear, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and I'm going to use my dark wax. I'm going to use a little brush that I like to use with the dark wax. You only need a little bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over the light wax. I'm going to get it in all the little nooks and crannies. You're going to do this on the front and the back. But like I said, I only want you guys to go in like 3-inch sections as you do this. So once I've done it with the dark wax, I'm going to come back again with my cloth, and I'm going to go back and use my light wax. And I'm going to take the dark wax off with the light wax. Like this. Stays in the nooks and crannies. I love it. Can take as much off of you want, or you can leave a lot of the dark if you like the dark. And if you took off more than you wanted to, you can just go back and put some more dark back on. So see how that's coming out? It looks really pretty. Now, once I've done this to all of my brass pieces, everything, I'm going to let it sit and dry. You can put it in front of a fan for a couple hours, or just let it sit, out in the sun. You want it to be really, really dry when we're going to come back and we're going to start gluing our stones on our crown. And we're going to be putting these pieces that we also just waxed up. I didn't do these yet, but when everything is done and they're all dry, we're going to come back and we're going to go to our banner. Okay, now once everything has been painted and waxed, all your brass pieces, all your roses, and they're nice and dry, then what we're going to do is we're going to get our E6000 and our alcohol and our Q-tips. What we're going to do is, you might want to use clamps, you don't have to. You're going to have to do all of this in sections when it comes to your crown. It's going to take a long time, so we just have to be patient. What we're going to do is, where we're planning on putting our roses and gluing them, we're going to go with our Q-tip and our alcohol, and we're just going to really go in there and clean it. See how the stuff is even coming off? We like that. Going down to the raw brass. I want you to do that on each spot that you're going to be putting roses. Going to be putting a rose right here on your little corners. Clean that up. I'm going to do this on every single round spot on your crown, every single one of your corners, and every single one of your bottom pieces. Right down here, because you're putting a rose here too. Just really get that clean with the alcohol with the Q-tip. You want it to go down to the brass. You like that. If it doesn't go all the way to the brass, that's okay. Just do it really, really well. You really want to dry that spot out. Then we're going to go at the back of our roses, even though we didn't paint them, we're just going to make sure that it's nice and dry, because this alcohol is going to dry up any moisture on the back of our roses. You know what else I want you guys to do? See, there's paint there. That's all right. I want you to take your Q-tip and your alcohol, and I want you to put it down into the hole and twist it around and open it up a little bit, the inside of your roses, each one of them. I know this takes a long time, but I have issues. Everything I create takes a long time with a lot of steps. So now that we've got that done, just let the alcohol dry. Once the alcohol is dry, and you guys might want to put like a table fan on high. That might help you too when you're drying your E6000. And we're going to take our E6000 and we're going to put a decent amount, starting with the crown, on the little round ball in the center where we're going to put our rose. Probably like a nice pea size. I'm going to take a rose. We're just going to set it there. We're not going to push it in. We're just going to let it like settle into that glue. Going to have to do one at a time. I know it's not fun. Blow on it a little. And when you feel like it's set, try and balance it somewhere in front of the fan. And once, after like, oh, I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes since it's been in front of a fan, then you can come back and do the next one and then the next one. They don't have to be completely cured and dry, but you want them set so they won't fall off. So you're going to have to go around it. So it's going to take a long time. You want to give this, all throughout the day. I know it's not fun. So I'm just balancing that. Right here, you can balance it on anything. And, once you put that on there, one on your crown, then you can come and you can go to one of your base pieces. You can do the same thing. We're going to do the same thing, like a pea size, good pea size. You're going to lay your rose. Actually, you might want to push the petals up so that it really lays in there well on your base. And don't worry about too much glue, because you, like I said, can always go back in and clean your glue up. You just don't want to have not enough glue. Put those aside when you're done with those. You can do these all at the same time. They're not as delicate as the crown where you have to go into a circle. So let's just pretend those roses have been put on, and what we're going to do is we're going to let all of that sit overnight for that glue to really, really cure. Once that glue has cured and is really, really, really dry, you know, tomorrow, at least 24 hours or at least 12 hours, then we're going to come back and we're going to do our glass pieces, and we're going to glue when these are finished, we're going to glue these to our glass banner pieces.